What if I told you that your relationship with money isn't determined by your bank account, your job, or even your circumstances, but by something far more fundamental that you've been unconsciously programming your entire life? There's a discovery from neuroscience that explains why some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth, while others struggle despite working twice as hard, and why trying to change your financial situation through external actions alone will never create lasting abundance. The moment you understand what's really happening in your subconscious mind, you're not just managing money anymore, you're magnetizing wealth. Everything changes. Now, here's what's shocking about this discovery. Most people spend their entire lives believing that wealth is something that happens to them based on luck, circumstances, or how hard they work. They chase opportunities, switch careers, start businesses, invest in stocks, all while completely missing the invisible force that's actually determining their financial reality. They're trying to fix their bank account instead of reprogramming what creates their relationship with money in the first place. They react emotionally to financial stress, which just generates more scarcity patterns because they don't realize their subconscious beliefs about money are literally broadcasting their financial frequency to the universe 24 hours a day. And this is exactly why budgeting and financial planning don't create lasting wealth for most people. But there's a quantum principle about consciousness that changes everything. When you understand that your subconscious mind processes over 11 million bits of information per second, while your conscious mind only processes about 40 bits, you can stop fighting your financial circumstances and start reprogramming your wealth blueprint from the inside out. If this concept of reprogramming your subconscious wealth blueprint resonates with you, or if you've ever noticed how some people seem to naturally attract money while others repel it, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to reprogram my wealth frequency." And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more life-changing content about financial transformation and abundance mindset. I'm going to reveal the exact 3-step wealth magnetism protocol that transforms you from someone who chases money into someone who naturally attracts it. Plus, I'll give you the abundance activation technique that makes this automatic in just minutes a day, so you become the person who creates wealth instead of being controlled by the lack of it. Every unconscious financial decision you make is a missed opportunity to literally reshape your money magnetism. And most people waste hundreds of these opportunities every single day. When you were born, you didn't come into this world with beliefs about money being hard to earn, scarce, or something only other people deserve. You didn't inherit the fear of not having enough or the guilt about wanting more. You arrived as pure potential, ready to receive all the abundance the universe has to offer. But somewhere between your first breath and now, you absorbed the financial programming of everyone around you. Your parents' stress about bills, society's messages about money being the root of evil, your first experiences of disappointment when you couldn't have something you wanted. Layer by layer, these experiences created what I call your wealth blueprint, the subconscious program that determines how much money you're allowed to have and keep. Take a moment right now and think about your earliest memory involving money. Maybe it was hearing your parents argue about finances, being told that money doesn't grow on trees, or feeling the shame of not being able to afford something your friends had. Whatever that memory is, it wasn't just a moment in time. It became part of your financial DNA, a belief system that your subconscious mind has been faithfully executing ever since. Most people carry these invisible money blocks their entire lives without ever questioning them. They accept their financial limitations as reality instead of recognizing them as outdated programming that can be changed. The difference between people who struggle with money and those who attract it effortlessly isn't intelligence, education, or even opportunity. It's their subconscious relationship with wealth. Those who attract money naturally have unconsciously programmed themselves to see abundance as normal, safe, and deserved. Their nervous system is calibrated to wealth consciousness. They expect good things to happen financially, so they notice opportunities that others miss. They feel worthy of abundance, so they take actions that align with receiving it. Meanwhile, Those who struggle with money have unconsciously programmed themselves for scarcity. Their nervous system is calibrated to survival mode. They expect financial difficulty, so they unconsciously sabotage opportunities for abundance. They feel guilty about having money, so they find ways to give it away or lose it as soon as they receive it. This isn't about positive thinking or affirmations. This is about quantum physics and neuroscience. Your brain is literally wired to seek evidence that confirms your existing beliefs about money. If you believe deep down that you don't deserve wealth, your reticular activating system, the part of your brain that filters information, will highlight every piece of evidence that supports that belief while filtering out evidence to the contrary. You'll notice every bill, every expense, every reason why you can't afford something, while completely missing opportunities for income, abundance, and financial growth that are right in front of you. But here's the beautiful truth that changes everything. Just as these limiting beliefs were programmed into your subconscious through repetition and emotion, they could be reprogrammed through the same process. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity, the ability to form new neural pathways throughout your entire life. This means that no matter how long you've struggled with money, no matter how deeply ingrained your scarcity programming might be, you can literally rewire your brain for wealth consciousness. The secret lies in understanding how your subconscious mind actually works. Unlike your conscious mind, which is analytical and logical, your subconscious mind thinks in images, emotions, and sensations. It doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's vividly imagined. This is why visualization and emotional programming are so powerful for financial transformation. When you consistently feed your subconscious mind clear, emotionally charged images of abundance, it begins to accept this as your new reality and starts organizing your thoughts, actions, and opportunities to match this new programming. Ancient wisdom traditions understood this principle long before modern neuroscience proved it. The Hermetic principle of mentalism states that all is mind, that the universe itself is mental in nature, and that by changing your thoughts, you literally change your reality. The Hindu concept of Maya teaches that what we perceive as solid reality is actually more like a projection of consciousness, malleable and responsive to the observer's state of mind. These weren't just spiritual concepts. They were practical instructions for working with the quantum field of infinite possibility that surrounds us all. Your current financial situation is simply the physical manifestation of your past thinking and feeling patterns about money. If you want to change your external financial reality, you must first change your internal wealth frequency. This is where most people get stuck. They try to change their circumstances through external actions, while keeping the same internal programming that created those circumstances in the first place. It's like trying to change the image on a movie screen by manipulating the screen instead of changing the film in the projector. The first step in wealth magnetism is what I call the abundance audit. You need to become conscious of your unconscious money programming. For the next few days, I want you to pay attention to your automatic thoughts and emotional reactions around money. Notice what happens in your body when you pay bills, when you see expensive things you want, when you hear about someone else's financial success, when you think about your financial future. These reactions are your subconscious wealth blueprint revealing itself. Most people have been running these programs so long they don't even notice them anymore. But awareness is the first step toward transformation. You might discover that you have unconscious beliefs like money is hard to earn, rich people are greedy or corrupt, you have to work extremely hard to be wealthy, there's not enough to go around, you don't deserve financial abundance, or that wanting money makes you shallow or materialistic. These beliefs aren't your fault. They were programmed into you before you had the conscious capacity to question them. But they are your responsibility to change if you want a different financial reality. The second step is what I call quantum reprogramming. This is where you begin to consciously install new wealth programming into your subconscious mind. The most effective way to do this is through a combination of visualization, emotional embodiment, and repetition. Every day, preferably in the morning when your brain is in the alpha state that's most receptive to new programming. You're going to spend at least 10 minutes vividly imagining your ideal financial reality. But this isn't just daydreaming. This is precision programming. You need to create clear, specific, sensory-rich mental movies of abundance. See yourself checking your bank account and feeling genuine joy and gratitude at the balance. Feel the emotions of financial security, of being able to help others, of having the freedom to make choices based on what you love rather than what you need. Imagine making financial decisions from abundance rather than scarcity. Visualize money flowing to you easily and naturally through multiple streams of income. Feel the satisfaction of being generous, of investing wisely, of creating wealth that serves not just you, but everyone whose life you touch. The key is to make these visualizations so real that your subconscious mind accepts them as actual experiences. Your nervous system needs to become familiar with the feeling of abundance, so that when real opportunities for wealth appear, you recognize them as natural and normal rather than foreign and frightening. Many people unconsciously sabotage financial opportunities because abundance doesn't feel safe to their nervous system. Their subconscious mind, programmed for scarcity, interprets wealth as dangerous and finds ways to return to familiar financial territory. The third step is inspired action from alignment. Once you've begun reprogramming your subconscious mind for wealth consciousness, you'll start noticing opportunities and ideas that were invisible to you before. Your new internal programming will begin magnetizing external circumstances that match your new wealth frequency. But you must be willing to act on these inspirations, even when they don't make logical sense to your old way of thinking. This is where many people get stuck. They want wealth, but they're not willing to step outside their comfort zone to receive it. They want abundance, but they're not ready to release the familiar identity of someone who struggles with money. Wealth requires you to grow into the person who can handle abundance responsibly and joyfully. This means developing new skills, new relationships, new ways of thinking and being. It means becoming comfortable with success, with visibility, with having resources that can make a real difference in the world. The universe is constantly offering you opportunities for abundance, but these opportunities often come disguised as challenges, risks, or situations that require you to trust in possibilities you can't yet see. The person you've been might not recognize these gifts, but the person you're becoming through this reprogramming process will see them clearly and have the courage to act on them. As you continue this practice of quantum reprogramming, something remarkable begins to happen. Your relationship with money transforms from fear and scarcity to love and abundance. You stop seeing money as something separate from you that you have to chase, and you start experiencing it as an energy that flows through you naturally. You realize that wealth isn't something you get, it's something you become. You don't just have abundance, you are abundance. This shift in identity is where the real magic happens. When you fully embody wealth consciousness, you stop thinking like someone who needs money and start thinking like someone who creates value in the world. Instead of focusing on what you can get, you focus on what you can give. Instead of competing for resources, you collaborate in creating them. Instead of operating from desperation, you operate from inspiration. This energetic shift is magnetic. People can feel it, opportunities respond to it, and money flows toward it naturally. You begin to understand that wealth isn't about accumulating things or reaching a certain number in your bank account. True wealth is about having the internal resources to create whatever external resources you need. It's about freedom, choice, and the ability to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. When you operate from this understanding, money becomes a tool for expression rather than a source of stress. You attract abundance not because you need it, but because you're aligned with the creative force of the universe itself. The beautiful paradox of wealth magnetism is that the less desperately you need money, the more naturally it comes to you. When you release the grip of financial anxiety and step into the flow of abundance consciousness, you become a magnet for prosperity in all its forms. Opportunities appear, People want to work with you, ideas flow through you, and resources organize themselves around your highest vision for your life. But this transformation isn't just about you. When you heal your relationship with money, you contribute to healing the collective consciousness around wealth. You become living proof that it's possible to be both spiritual and financially abundant, that you can be wealthy while maintaining your integrity, that success and service can go hand in hand. Your example gives others permission to release their own money blocks and step into their own abundance. This is why your financial transformation matters so much. Every person who breaks through the programming of scarcity and limitation makes it easier for others to do the same. You're not just changing your own life, you're helping to shift the entire paradigm around money and success on this planet. You're demonstrating that wealth can be a force for good, that abundance is the natural state of the universe, and that everyone deserves to experience financial freedom and security. As you embark on this journey of wealth magnetism, remember that transformation takes time. Be patient with yourself as you release old patterns and install new programming. Celebrate small wins along the way. Notice when you catch yourself thinking differently about money, when you feel more deserving of abundance, when you take inspired action despite fear, when opportunities begin appearing in your life. These are all signs that your new wealth frequency is activating. There may be moments when your old programming tries to reassert itself. When unexpected expenses arise, when income fluctuates, when doubt creeps in about whether you really deserve abundance. In these moments, remember that this is a normal part of the reprogramming process. Your old subconscious patterns will test your commitment to your new wealth consciousness. Stay consistent with your daily visualization practice. Keep taking inspired action and trust that your new programming is taking root even when you can't see immediate evidence in your external circumstances. The key is consistency over perfection. Every day that you choose to feed your subconscious mind images and feelings of abundance instead of scarcity, you're strengthening your new neural pathways. Every time you catch yourself thinking a limiting thought about money and consciously choose a more abundant perspective, you're rewiring your brain. Every moment you act from wealth consciousness instead of scarcity consciousness, you're embodying your new financial identity. This isn't about becoming someone different than who you are. This is about becoming more fully who you've always been underneath the programming of limitation. Your natural state is abundance. Your birthright is prosperity. The universe is infinitely creative and generous, and you are an expression of that same creative force. When you align with your true nature, wealth becomes as natural as breathing. The question isn't whether you deserve abundance. You do. The question isn't whether there's enough wealth to go around. There is. The question is whether you're willing to release the programming that's kept you separate from your natural inheritance and step into the wealth consciousness that's been waiting within you all along. Your financial transformation begins right now, in this moment, with this decision to see yourself differently. Not as someone who has to struggle for money, but as someone who naturally attracts it. Not as someone who doesn't deserve wealth, but as someone whose abundance serves the highest good. Not as someone who has to choose between money and meaning, but as someone whose financial success amplifies their ability to make a positive impact in the world. As you close your eyes tonight and drift off to sleep, let your last thoughts be of gratitude for the abundance that's already flowing into your life. See yourself waking up tomorrow as the person who naturally attracts wealth, who makes decisions from abundance rather than scarcity, who contributes value to the world while receiving prosperity in return. Feel the excitement of knowing that your new wealth frequency is magnetizing opportunities, relationships, and resources that will support your highest vision for your life. The universe is ready to support your abundance. Your higher self is calling you into wealth consciousness. The only thing standing between you and the financial freedom you desire is your willingness to release the old programming and embrace the truth of who you really are. You are not your past financial struggles. You are not your limiting beliefs about money. You are a creative force in this universe, capable of manifesting abundance beyond what your current circumstances might suggest is possible. Tomorrow, when you wake up, you're not the same person who started reading this today. You're someone who understands the science of wealth magnetism, who knows how to reprogram their subconscious mind for abundance, who recognizes that financial transformation happens from the inside out. You're someone who's ready to step into their power as a conscious creator of wealth, someone who's prepared to live without financial worry ever again. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your journey to lasting financial abundance begins with a single decision. The decision to see money not as your enemy, but as your ally, not as something scarce, but as something abundant, not as something you chase, but as something you attract through the magnetic power of your aligned consciousness. Make that decision now, and watch as your entire financial reality begins to shift in ways that will amaze and delight you. You have everything within you right now to create the wealthy life you've always dreamed of. The tools are simple, the process is natural, and the results are inevitable when you consistently apply these principles. Your abundant future is calling you forward. All you have to do is answer that call with your whole heart, your complete commitment, and your unwavering belief in your own worthiness to receive all the wealth the universe is waiting to give you. The time for financial struggle is over. The time for abundance consciousness has begun. Welcome to your new reality, where wealth flows to you as naturally as your breath, where opportunities appear faster than you can act on them, where your bank account reflects the abundance that has always existed in your heart. This is not just possible for you. This is your destiny. Claim it now and step into the wealthy life that's been waiting for you all along.